I was in the middle of playing Dragon Age the Veilguard for a video. Playing the game felt lukewarm and middling. And that's when Monster Hunter Wilds ripped me away from Dragon Age Veilguard and took me for a ride. Peak. This ride did have some bumps.
No! He's straight out of PS2! Playing Monster Hunter 1. Oh my god!
I think. But that was overshadowed by the feeling of elation I got when fighting Ray Dow.
God, I love this monster. I'm gonna get this fucking tattooed on my body. It's so sick. Oh my god, it's so sick! We did it! It's so sick! We died!
Monster Hunter feels different now. In the past, it felt a little muddy and obtuse, and don't gaslight me into thinking otherwise. I know people who love Monster Hunter and agree.
All these games are overwhelming. They're the most unaccommodating games at the start. Monster World had so much weird shit that you had to learn how to play. Attacks don't make any sense, and then you get used to it.
I always understood that combat was supposed to be deliberate and grounded, to force you to master the weapon, and teach you to read the monster's movements. But the formula has been tweaked. Monster Hunter Wilds is this perfect balance of tight and loose. This is why I really liked Wild Hearts. I always felt like I had so much wiggle room between animation canceling and buildings that give you invincibility. But this system gave up a lot of depth and invited in a lot of jank. Not to mention the various other issues as a game that would be compared to Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter Wilds has added in a dash of freedom, which gives me the ability to be more creative with how I handle hunts, without immediately getting punished by a monster. I've always liked Monster Hunter, but I've always wanted to be a true believer, and I believe now is my time. The first change to Monster Hunter Wilds that I am stoked about is the weapons and wound system. Every single weapon has either been reworked like the Insect Glaive or expanded upon. This is very reminiscent of Monster Hunter Rise, where the wire bug unlocked a lot of nutty moves and movement. The difference is Monster Hunter Rise's pace was breakneck speed, so a different sort of change was needed. The way they handled it for most weapons was various additions to the moveset, like counters, and the focus system. Basically, you hit a specific part on the monster's body. Those parts get damaged. Then you hit those wounds with specific focus moves. Bingo, bango, bongo, dongo, lots of damage and crafting parts. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I understand how all these mechanics impact all the weapons, because I don't. But I do understand how it impacts my weapon, the Insect Glaive. I've always had a love-hate relationship with the Insect Glaive. I always wanted the ability to soar high above the clouds, battling Rathalos. But in Monster Hunter World, this was not the optimal playstyle.
Now it is worth calling out that while zipping around in the air like some sort of monster hunting Wukong might seem appealing, and it certainly does have its uses, it's also not your best damage dealer. The airborne hits are comparatively quite weak, so while it is handy if you want to mount or perhaps paralyze a monster, if your focus switches to damage, you are far better off dropping back to the ground and dipping into your core combos, since that is where your damage will come from.
You would literally do less damage using the weapon the way I felt it was supposed to be used, which resulted in a grounded playstyle where I felt other weapons were more fun. Then you get the Rise, and thanks to the wire bug, the mobility was so freeing. I felt like the weapon was achieving heights it never had before, figuratively and literally. Now we have Wilds, where they completely neutered the aerial moveset. No longer can you chain together aerial flurries. Instead, the ground moveset was expanded upon, with the aerial moveset being reserved for specific combos and specific situations. The aerial combat went from the main attraction to a supporting role. And for me, it works! I can understand why many would be disappointed. It doesn't feel like the weapon that they fell in love with. And even the ground game's playstyle has changed. But look at this! I feel like there's so much hidden sauce that we won't know about until the full game releases and we can hunt more monsters. I love that getting the buffs no longer feels like a chore, but more like a mini gameplay loop, which rewards you for correct sequencing. You can collect buffs, set up a perfect combo, unleash a powerful charge move, which removes your buffs, but also potentially collects 2 of them back for you. Or you can skip getting all the buffs by hitting the monster in its wound spot and getting all the buffs back instantly. I know it's disappointing to no longer be able to flip and dip, especially after Rise, but let them cook. Let's save our full opinion for the full release. So far, I have referenced Rise a lot, as it is my favorite Monster Hunter so far, which isn't really saying much as I've only played Monster Hunter Rise and World. But I do feel as though Wilds is the baby of World and Rise. The goal of Wilds is to balance the immersive, slower paced experience of Monster Hunter World with the faster paced experience of Rise, where hunting is the name of the game. This leads to an experience where you feel in awe of the ecosystem around you, without the frustration of running 16 miles down the rainforest only for Rathalos to fly back up the whole thing when he sees you. This frustrating experience no longer exists thanks to the Sacred, our cool little dino bird dog thing, which allows you to get right into the fight, just like in Rise. And it will automatically guide you to the fight if you don't want to get lost. Plus, it helps in combat. It really feels like they experimented with Rise, then toned everything down to the speed of Monster Hunter World while speeding up World, if that makes any sense. This is easily my most anticipated game of next year. And this beta was some of the most fun I've had with Billy and Mel this whole year.
Wait, we got it.
We kill him?
Guys, I think he's dead. He's dead. You got it.
Also, go check out their channels if you like gaming or tabletop games. Basically, everything is coming together in a way that is almost perfect. And almost is the key word. Introducing the lobby system. It's annoying. Very, very annoying. It's not bad like World's lobby system, where you had to jump into a story hunt, watch the cutscene, then jump out, so then you could start hunting with your friends. Now that was unacceptable. But this lobby system is confusing and obtuse, which is a shame after Rise was just so simple and easy to use. Because Wilds has a lobby system where there are 100 players in your lobby, but you can only see them in the village, mind you. You can invite players to a link party where you can join hunts together, but you can't see them or roam the environment together. If you want to do that, you got to invite them again to an environment link where you can see each other and hunt together, but can't join specific posted hunts together. This resulted in us waiting an hour and a half in an environment link to hunt Ray Dow. But he never showed up in our environment link. So we all joined a normal link party and posted a hunt to hunt Ray Dow. But Billy got disconnected mid-hunt and couldn't rejoin. Please let me know in the comments section if I misunderstood something or did something wrong, because this was very frustrating. I know the point of the beta is to handle lobby and connection issues, but honestly, if it's going to be this complicated, just bring back the normal lobby system, where I can just run around with my friends and post hunts. Because honestly, I don't really care to see 35 other people run around in my village just to tank my frame rate. That was my only issue with the beta. And I know that there was performance issues for a lot of people, and I did have shader issues. I do think they were relying a little too hard on the 40 series frame generation to get a consistent high frame rate. But I am more confident that they will iron out these performance issues before launch than I am that they will iron out the issues with the lobby system. But as frustrating as all this is, I can't downplay the hype of Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah!
I cannot wait for February. I miss Ray Dow so much. Until then, check out my experience of Wild Hearts. Maybe it can tide you over until the release of Monster Hunter Wilds.
Can't believe that gives me all my stuff back. That's actually crazy.